celebrating Southern Oregon's beers, ciders, wines, and more. This is So What's on Tap. And in that spirit of celebration, we find the heart of the Rogue Amber Ale from Common Block Brewing.
Well, it's just an American amber ale, which, it's right there in the title. It looks, nice dark red, amber colored. I do really like the red in a beer. When you hold up the light, it just looks pleasing, especially when that glass starts to, sweat a little bit. And it's, it just looks mouth-watering. You just want to chug the whole thing. That color is really a special thing in beer.
Last October, Travel Medford enlisted Common Block to produce a beer for their Heart of the Rogue Festival. John's Amber Ale was already in the works and was the perfect fit.
All of our hops come from the United States and they're all grown in the Pacific Northwest. We like to use them for local stuff because it's generally fresher. If it's coming from Europe, it's got to come on a boat. And so being able to source hops locally is really, the blessings of being able to brew in this area. These are Columbus hops, our bittering hop.
And like the Pacific Northwest, there's nothing too fancy about the Heart of the Rogue Amber.
Nope, beer is pretty simple actually. There's only 4 ingredients. It's water, malt, hops, and yeast. And a lot of the art to brewing comes down to ingredient selection.
Well, they do use an extra special malt. No, literally that's what it's called, an extra special malt.
Which is kind of a vague sounding term, but it's a drum roasted malt. It gives a really unique, sweet, deep toffee, kind of burnt sugar flavor. The hop bitterness should kind of balance it. So it's not like an easy drinking beer that you'd want to have maybe after mowing the lawn, but on a cool fall day, it's go-to beer.
Ales take about 2 weeks to make, starting with brew day.
So right now in the vessel on the far right, we've got this oatmeal consistency substance that's basically, it's grain that's been cracked open, hot water's been added to it, and I'm draining the liquid out and holding the grains back. The liquid's going to become our beer, and the grain, when I'm done with it, it's going to go to Family Nurturing Center over at Hanley Farm, where they'll compost it and use it on their farm.
All those flavors and juices separate from that grain, becoming the base of John's Ale.
And then once I get the beer up into the fermenter, the yeast take over, because they're really the original microbrewers. It takes about 7 days for them to ferment the sugars that are in the beer, and make the alcohol and the CO2 that we all enjoy.
The beer then stabilizes for about a week as the yeast goes dormant, and the beer clarifies.
And then by about that 14th or 15th day, you filter the beer, finish the carbonation, and start pouring it at the bar.
Common Block's Heart of the Rogue Amber Ale is a hop-forward, perfectly balanced tribute to Southern Oregon. It represents that simple perfection found right here in the Rogue Valley. Cheers to that. Until next time, this is So What's on Tap.